Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel Uniti. So we guess you're a new driver who's been through various car insurance comparison websites, which we assume was not a very good experience for you, which then forced you to search on the internet on techniques on how to lower down your insurance premiums. If this is true, then you're at the right place. Keep watching this video to know how you can cut your insurance premiums by up to 40% or even more in some cases by using the tips and tricks that follow. Hi guys, I'm Shri from Uniti. So today we'll briefly go over some tips and tricks that when implemented well can save you a lot of money. And yes, these tips are legal and have been personally tried and tested by us and they've worked very well every time. Every year, insurance companies in the UK make millions of pounds solely from new drivers. We've personally seen people paying up to 4 grand to insure a car that is not even half that price. However, what you will find in this vlog is not something you would find anywhere else because these tips and tricks were something that we found ourselves when we were shopping for our first car insurance years ago. And yes, these tips still work equally well. So let's get straight to the tips. Here are the 5 tips that you will need to follow to considerably bring down your insurance premiums. Tip number 1, the new Search and Haggle. You've already heard several times that you need to check on a variety of comparison websites and you need to take numerous quotes from every one of them. Now, what you did not know was that these car insurance websites work in the same manner as flight booking websites. The prices go up the more times you check. Experience this? Yes, we all have. So here's our recommendation. The next time you do have to take multiple quotes from the same website, try this. So first of all, clear your cookies and cache. These tracking cookies are what tell these websites that you visited them before and you are urgently looking for a new car insurance. So companies take advantage of this fact and provide you with higher priced quotes. Next, create new email addresses. So use new email addresses for every time you take a new quote from a comparison website and you would be treated as a new customer that every time. Finally, go incognito. This mode doesn't allow a single bit of data to be shared from your browser with these comparison websites. Tip number 2, try out different occupational descriptions. Insurance companies set different amount of risk associated with different occupations. So a higher risk occupation leads to higher premiums and vice versa. For example, someone who's a construction engineer is bound to pay higher premiums because of the higher risk associated being around heavy construction vehicles, while for someone who's a carer at an old age home is bound to pay lower premiums for obvious reasons. So we recommend trying to describe your occupation in words that have lower risk associated with them. Try out different description and see what brings the premium down the most. Check out the link in the description box where you can see how your occupation description fares against others. Try looking for an alternative description which seems to have a lower risk associated. Tip number 3, don't go for typical first time buyer cars. Some examples of these would be 1 litre, 1.2 litre Vauxhall Corsa or Ford Fiesta. These cars have higher crash risk associated with them as they're mostly driven by new and young drivers. Instead, go for unusual cars, not performance ones obviously, like 1.6 litre Astra or Polo, or even 2 litres are sometimes cheaper to insure. As a rule of thumb, go for cars that first time car buyers don't go for. For me personally, it was cheaper to insure a 1.9 litres Volkswagen Passat rather than a 1.3 litre Ford Fiesta. Again, try it out, it might just work for you. A smaller engine doesn't always mean a lower premium, is all we want to say. Tip number 4, set high voluntary excess to bring the premium down, but be careful. Now, if you feel you're quite confident with your driving, what you can do is you can increase the voluntary excess. Do remember that this would be on top of the compulsory excess set by the company. Usually between 500 and 750 pound works well to bring the premium down. If you've got the cash, you can go up to £1,000. However, we recommend stopping at £1,000 because anything more than that might make you sound dodgy to the insurance companies. For my first car, I had set the voluntary excess at £500, which brought my premiums down from £125 to £94 a month. Important thing to remember here is that in an unfortunate event, you would be liable to pay this high amount. So we recommend balancing the risk and playing anywhere between £350 and £500, which is usually a good call. Tip number 5. Set your insurance start dates at least 2 weeks away from the date you take your quotes. When you do this, insurance companies assume that you have an existing insurance quote and they provide you with lower premiums to attract you quickly. So, summarizing, we've covered everything from preventing car insurance companies from accessing your browser data, increasing your voluntary access, trying out different occupational descriptions, what kind of cars to buy for the first time, and putting policy start dates at least 2 weeks ahead. It is now your time to act and see what works for you. Let us know in the comment box what worked for you and what didn't. Also, please feel free to share any tips and tricks that you may have and are worth sharing. We're always happy to hear from you. Drop us an email on admin@unitech.io if you have any questions. We shall see you in the next vlog. Take care.